You're listening to the Show We Go Baseball podcast.
Something that I don't remember if it came out at the very end of the season or just before it, but it meant a lot to me was that you were very open with your struggle with anxiety throughout I would assume your whole career.
Yeah.
Because I mean you've had the spotlight on you since you were like 13 years old, and that I would imagine that having that kind of like magnifying glass, it takes a toll. It takes a toll when you're, and I don't want to put words into your mouth. I would imagine that having just everybody pay attention to what you're doing, how you look, how you're playing, all of that stuff. Like I would find that to be totally draining. So I was just wondering what it was that made you want to speak about that, and how you've been doing since you started talking about it.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like once I wanted to make that change to my body, I feel like I couldn't like take that next step forward unless like, I kind of got that off my mind, because I've always, like you said, I've dealt with that my whole career ever since I was in high school and everything. So like these past 2 seasons, like, yeah, like I would go through some spells and everything. It would be pretty tough, and my mind like wasn't cleared. Like I was dealing with a lot of things. And but I feel like coming out, like it helped me clear my mind and be able to like come open with it and everything. And another big thing for me too is like I wanted to help out other people, because I know like a lot of high school age guys, a lot of college guys, and a lot of pro guys, like a lot of them go through it. So it was pretty cool to get the response that I had. I had no idea that I would do that, like take off like it did. I was just trying to help out a few people, and then it took off, and I was getting a lot of messages from like a lot of college guys and everything, saying how much it helped, and how much they appreciate and how much and that they're going through it. So and like I would get like a lot of messages saying that like I feel like the path that I was on, like they would have never thought that anything would be wrong, but like deep down, like a lot of guys like have stuff going on that you might not know about. So it was pretty cool to be able to come up open about that. But I felt like being able to make this change to my body, I had to do it to my mind too, entering this next year. So I feel like definitely a complete new person and player at the same time. So,
and so I'm piggybacking on that. What is a typical conversation between you and Christopher Troy like?
It's pretty funny. He's a lot smarter than I am. Like we were actually talking at the lunch table today, and I mean, it's just we're not too serious like a lot of the time, but we do like have conversations about like businesses and stuff, like because he's all into that, and like all into real estate and everything, and I actually have like rent a house and stuff back in my hometown, so we'll be talking about that, like, hey, like I might make a move on something like this or something like that. And but yeah, he's always a fun person to have a conversation with, but he definitely is a lot smarter than me, so sometimes like I'm not on his level, so sometimes I don't know what he's talking about. But most of the time that when we have a conversation though, it's just like a lot of goofing around, just friends and stuff, so we don't really get too much on the business side, but every once in a while we do. So
yeah, I wanted to follow up with that, because I felt when we had Christopher on a few episodes back, it was interesting because he had like, he had his guys in the background, like writing stuff on like a whiteboard the whole time, like his brain trust behind him. And, and he obviously like, and he's very, obviously, this, he's very big on social media. He's trying to be, and he even talked about like talking to you about that. But he seems like one of those guys that, channels his, I guess, like inner thoughts a lot, and just seems like he's always speaking from the heart. And I don't know, I just feel like two guys like you that that will speak like that. I just feel like it's probably a great conversation to be a fly on the wall. I always thought that. So
yeah, we talk about the mental side of it every once in a while, of like, and he was like asking me like even he was like, dang, I had no idea that you were going through that, and he was like, it actually helped him too a little bit. So, and but yeah, we don't really get too deep, like especially when we're at the field and stuff. But we have had a few conversations about like the mental side and everything. But most of the time, it's just us goofing around. So